been accepted for another season.
Is it just me or is it making this crack work?
Yay! I drove for 6 hours to visit a friend that I made online. It helps if you haven't got the drill in reverse. This is the outfit of the day. Got the flares over the top. Chosen a really summery vibe for a really horrible day. I really need to tidy my room, but as usual I am procrastinating it because I hate tidying my room. I don't know why I don't just put stuff away when I take it off, but I just don't. Like, look at this. Like, I can't lie, I don't think I've even like fully unpacked from Thailand, which is just silly. This is your reminder to take your meds if you haven't already taken them, and you need to do so. Okay, let's do this. Being the mentally ill girl was my main personality trait for longer than I'd like to admit, and to be honest, for the majority of that time, I didn't even mind. Mental illness was my life. It was my whole reality, and so unfortunately, I fell into the trap of believing that that was who I was. I am pleased to announce, however, that mental illness is no longer who I am. So if you're new here, hi. My name is Millie, I'm 18 years old, and I've learned how to heal my mental health and find an identity outside of my past struggles that took over so much of my life. It's lunchtime. I'm going to make a BLT. This is the best vegan bacon you will ever try. So good. God's sake, look at that. That is mould on the bread. That is so annoying. I need to find another form of bread. So I have to have this, which is like BTEC bread. It just doesn't really hit the same as like nice thick white bread. Like, look at this. I don't think I'm even going to toast it at all because it will just go crispy. But it's fine, we adapt and overcome. Why does mental illness become our identity? Is a question that I've pondered more and more as I've begun to move away from my past issues. However, at the time I didn't find myself questioning it at all, and I think that's the key reason why mental illness quickly takes over your personality. It's because we let it happen. We accept that it is who we are now. I think we allow this to happen for a few different reasons. The first being sheer exhaustion. Surviving every day when you struggle with your mental health can feel like it requires 100% of your energy. When your main goal is to simply keep yourself alive, you let other things slide. You have to, and your identity is one of them. I haven't got time to be thinking about who I am as a person when I can barely pretend to be a functioning member of society. This lack of energy also leads to a lack of enthusiasm. If you picture someone who has never struggled with their mental well-being before, on days when they've had a rubbish night's sleep and they're feeling extra tired, they probably don't find the same joy in the things they usually do. They might even cancel activities that they normally love in order to spend the day recuperating. Now imagine that this physical tiredness is mental exhaustion, times by 10, and is something you have to live with every single day. Of course you're going to lack enthusiasm for the things you enjoyed doing when you didn't feel like this. Who wouldn't? Ironically, these things that you keep cancelling or ignoring or postponing are exactly the things that you need to be clinging on to. They are the lifeboat in the sea of mental illness. There's some Doritos in the cupboard and I've been eyeing them up for weeks, but apparently they're from my brother. But he hasn't been eating them and I just keep like looking at them every single lunchtime, but I can't have them because apparently they're for him, and it is so infuriating. But I bet he didn't even buy them. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this with a knife. Well, I do. It's because I'm too lazy to wash up one of the things. The spatula thing. So I'm just trying to do everything with one singular knife, which is safe. Really want it cut in a triangle. In my opinion, a triangle sandwich tastes so much better than a rectangle sandwich. You can dispute that in the comments. My dad has like a trapezium sandwich, so he doesn't do it like right on the diagonal. He's the only person I know who cuts a sandwich like that. But yeah, when he used to make my sandwiches for school, that's how I used to get my sandwiches. So I like to think that I'm a pretty cultured sandwich eater. Oh my gosh, I should have got a bigger plate. It's fine. Look at that. It's because the sandwich is bigger than what I was expecting. Because normally, like, the bread isn't as big. So it's not really my fault. Who am I without mental illness is a question that you need to ask yourself over and over and over until the answer isn't, I don't know, or I can't even think about this right now. Because you are still in there. Your true personality isn't gone, it's just being smothered by a blanket of pain and exhaustion. No matter how long mental health has played a part in your life, there is still a version of you out there whose life isn't controlled by illness. For a long time, I told myself that mental illness would always be a big part of my life. And in some ways that's true. No matter how recovered I am, no matter how many years ago it was, it doesn't erase the years I spent in a sick fog. What this doesn't mean, however, is that my experiences during this time have to keep clouding my present life, personality, or thoughts. Yes, when I was younger, I was ill. Yes, there's no point pretending that it didn't happen. But it doesn't mean that that's who I am. When I was little, I smashed my front teeth in, and for a lot of my childhood, I had a messed up smile. But I can remember that era of my life without it having any effect on me now, positive or negative. We are a build-up of a million different experiences, and we can't let a couple of bad ones alter all of our good future experiences to come. Okay, so, you know, recently I've just done some shows with a ballet company. I have just found out that I've been accepted for another season. I've just been sent through show dates spanning all the way from September through to June next year. I can't even explain how happy I am. This is actually the best news oh my gosh. Crunch time! My favourite chocolate bar. When I got ill when I was 14, I lost interest in all the things I used to be passionate about. And before I knew it, I no longer had any of the hobbies that made me me. I couldn't dance, I couldn't concentrate on my art, I saw no point in reading. My social life also changed. I went longer and longer periods of time without seeing my friends, and I didn't engage with dinner time conversations with my family. I stopped doing my hair and wearing nice outfits and putting on makeup. I let my room become a mess. Snack time before dance. I've got a coffee, popcorn with some cinnamon on, and peanut butter with cinnamon as well. I'm just like really going through a cinnamon phase at the moment. I'm not saying that without these things I'm not Millie anymore, but I definitely think that it's important not to underestimate the impact that your hobbies, style and relationships have on shaping you as a person. When you let these things go, it gives the mental illness even more space to grow. I was like an empty husk of who I used to be, and that space was rapidly filled with the turmoil I was feeling. So, not only is rediscovering your identity an important part of life after illness, but it can actually go further than you may think in supporting your recovery and leaving less space inside of you to be filled by pain. I really want to practice my handstands because, I am convinced that I've got a good handstand in me somewhere. A practical exercise I still use now is asking myself, how do I want to feel? I'm sure that this varies from person to person, but for me, I want to feel loved, accomplished, peaceful and happy, among other things. Once you've made a note of how you want to feel, try and think of the people, places, things and situations that allow you to feel the desired emotion, even fleetingly.
Maybe I should try like a walkover.
Spending time with my friends and family makes me feel loved, so I need to make an effort to connect with them, even when I feel unsociable.
That would be so cool.
Getting ready for the day by wearing nice clothes and doing my hair makes me feel accomplished. So even on days where it feels like it takes all of my strength just to lift the hairbrush to my head, I need to make myself do it.
Okay. That wasn't too bad.
Dancing makes me feel at peace, even on days where my head is screaming at me. So I need to try and go, even when it's the last thing I feel like doing. I like this exercise because not only does it remind you that often the best thing you can do to help yourself is the exact opposite of what you feel like, but it shows you that it's these key parts of your life, personality and identity, that actually provide you with happiness, and that they're worth clinging on to.
I'm going to other shoes.
I believe that the exercise I just described is a helpful step in how to find your identity. For a lot of people, it's a matter of uncovering what you never truly lost, and learning to reconnect with your childhood self and the things that provided them with joy and enthusiasm in the years they spent living before mental illness. Little you is still in there somewhere, because you are them and they are you.
That was so good.
Let yourself spend time doing the things you enjoyed when you were 5, even if that's colouring in or rolling around in the garden. You aren't too old to experience childlike joy. Don't ever let yourself believe that it's impossible to return to the happy, stress-free kid that you once were. They still exist.
Okay, maybe I can call it a day.
I know that there may be some of you watching this thinking, what if I've always been like this? What if there isn't a happier version of me to return to? Firstly, I just want to say that I truly believe that no one is born mentally ill. There is nothing fundamentally, genetically stopping you from finding joy in this lifetime, I promise. You aren't too broken to find happiness, even if you can't remember a time your mind truly felt at peace. I would advise you to try everything and don't turn down any opportunities that come your way, no matter how silly, stupid or scary they might appear at first sight. The more you open yourself up to the world, the more opportunities it will send your way. And in my opinion, that is an excellent way to find your identity. Say yes, trust the process, and allow good things to happen to you. When you've experienced trauma or mental illness, it's easy to forget that the world isn't all bad. Not everything is out to get you, but because you've been hurt, you protect yourself from the world that hurt you, and you don't let it back in. Finding your identity is like finding love in the world around you, but you can't do that if you don't let the world in. The same idea applies to people. If you've been hurt by a person, no matter if you knew them or not, no matter if they were a big part of your life, it can be hard to open yourself back up to the possibility of being hurt again. But it's so important. Our relationships are such a huge part of what makes us us. They affect how we act, how we feel, and they have the power to teach us so much.
Probably shouldn't be trusted with this. No, I'm joking. I'm a pro with the drill. I am finally hanging my calendar up. Because I need to put a new nail in, because where I usually hang my calendar, I put my 2024 vision board, and I basically just never got round to hammering a nail into a wall. And then I went out to the workshop to try and find a nail, and I literally can't find any. So we are resorting to putting a screw into a wall in the place where the calendar usually goes. I've got this print. story behind this, I drove for 6 hours to visit a friend that I made online through this account to claim, well, make and then take home my very own BoJack Horseman print. It was actually such a fun weekend. It's the first time that I've ever like met up with anyone that I've met online, but it literally felt like we'd been besties forever, even though it was the first time seeing her in real life. I'm not sure like how well this is going to go into the wall, so I'm not drilling a hole. This isn't going to work. You know what, I'm going to get a hammer and start off with that and then hope that I can drill it the rest of the way. Logic. I found a nail, so what I'm going to do is like make the start of a hole with this massive nail, and then put a screw in it, because that should work right. And then pull it out so you've got a hole. Now I should be able to screw this in.
When I was a young teenager, I was abused by a person I loved. I trusted them, I opened up to them, and I thought they loved me back. It hurt me for a long time, and the fear of being hurt like that again lingered for even longer.
Right, you know what? Who needs a man, right? DIY that. Why is this wonky? It's really pissing me off, guys. I cannot deal with it being this wonky.
It was my first in-person experience of what I believed to be a bad person.
I do wish that I discovered the power of washi tape sooner, because I've got blue tack now, like all over my walls.
Part of my healing from that was forcing myself to remember that humans are fundamentally good. Humans aren't born evil. We're not hardwired to hurt others. Entering into relationships with this belief is so important in creating valuable, genuine, long-lasting connections with other humans that actually have positive impacts on your life.
Yeah, that's really cute.
Even though there is a risk that it could hurt, it's going to hurt you a lot more, spending the rest of your life avoiding true connection with others in case they turn out to be bad. Having people in your life that you love and respect can also have a positive influence on your own identity, as it's only natural that when you observe a personality trait in someone else that you really value, that you'll try and adopt it yourself.
Cute. Love it. I need to get some more photos printed to update this. So I put little pinpoints into like places I've travelled and then like pull it out from there. But it doesn't need updating because I haven't done anything with it for years. I've got this box that I first started when I was really struggling with my mental health, and it's basically like a special box full of things that I want to keep hold of, like birthday cards and photographs, messages from you guys, things that I've been like given over the years, and just like stuff that holds significance. And I like going through it every now and again.
Finding your true self is a long process, but that's okay because there's absolutely no reason why you can't enjoy the journey. Experimenting with styles, hobbies, and even relationships is what makes life interesting, so it doesn't matter if you don't figure out what works for you first time round. The worst thing that can come of it is some bad photos on your mum's Facebook of an outfit you haven't worn since, and an embarrassing story or two that your friends never fail to bring up when you're on a night out. Your fear of getting it wrong is what's holding you back from finding your place in the world. But there isn't a wrong way of living. You can't fail in this pursuit. I truly look forward to hearing about the people you become as you move away from mental illness into a life that feels truly yours.
I'm eating my lunch up here because my dad's on a work call downstairs and I'm sure he wouldn't appreciate the office being on in the background. We didn't have any normal bread, so I've got like 2 mini baguettes, which, I mean, it's quite fun. Look at that, such a cute little sandwich.
Thank you for being here today and listening to me waffle some more. I love and appreciate every single one of you. I hope you have a wonderful week, look after yourselves, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!